Wow, that's a lot of currency. Did you guys know there's 3 traits of a token that is needed to thrive and survive throughout the bear market? You can have the best technology, you can have the best tokenomics, you can have the best team. All these different pieces are great and all, but if you don't have these 3 things, it's going to be very difficult for you to thrive and survive through the bear. In today's KuCoin DigiDive, I'm going to go over the 3 different traits of a token that is needed to survive and thrive throughout the bear market. If you guys want to go ahead and get started trading, links in the description below. You guys will get 20% off trading fees. Also in that link, you'll have a chance to win $500 in free USDT off of your first few trades. The very first metric we need to look for is a strong community. There are different tools and things you can use for this, but in general, these are going to be like DeFi Llama, Lunar Crush, Dune Analytics, or you can simply just go off CoinGecko and look at some of the different dApps and websites that they list. GitHub is another one that's important to look at as well. Looking at the DeFi Llama website, there are several unique features. Depending on the type of token that you're looking for in the project, these are specifically around DeFi. But you can specify based on the dApp, or you can simply say, hey, I want to look at the chain. This is important to look at and go off these metrics based on seeing how the growth is, how the demand is, and how the development is. Let's go ahead and take, for example, Curve. I'm going to go back to the overview to show you guys the Curve token. As you can see here, it's on multiple chains, but let's see what the growth of Curve looks like. As you can see here, it basically dropped off of a cliff. Now, is this denominated in dollar terms or is this denominated in crypto terms? Well, right now this is in dollar terms. So let's see what it looks like in ETH terms. As you can see here, for the most part, it doesn't look as vicious as a chart with the dollar chart, but you can see here there is somewhat of a bear market and people are pulling liquidity out. But you still have steady staying growth. It can't be up only, but this is a good sign of growth and staying power. So let me give you an example of one that is struggling to grow. This would be Cream Finance. As you can see here, this is what their growth looked like in 2021. They had a couple of hacks and all kinds of garbage happen. Then they had some more growth around the 2022 timeframe. But then there were more hacks again. And as you can see here, their growth is struggling to come up. Now it's steadily going down. This is one of those metrics you need to look at and say, maybe something is wrong here. You can denominate it in BNB terms as well, but a flat line is not growth. So that is one of the metrics you guys can use. Others can be like Dune Analytics, which will break down the weekly active users. This is an important metric. Bear or bull market, yes, I understand in a bear they will be less, but over time you still want to have an average growth. So that is always good to see as well. And you can also see for DAI in general on this Dune Analytics dashboard, we can see where most of the stablecoin is at. You can see their stablecoin market share, how they're competing against everyone else. This is always a good metric to look at. And it's not always one-to-one, of course, because the centralized ones are usually going to have more demand, like USDC as well as Tether. And then you're also going to have Binance USD, and then you have the Gemini dollar. 7.4%, it looks like it's actually the leading decentralized stablecoin, which is pretty good for DeFi. And you can also look at the other analytics that they have on Dune Analytics, but this tool is supposed to be useful and helpful for your research. Another one is Lunar Crush. Lunar Crush, you can look for price, social engagements, social mentions. You can look at different things involved to see what the word is on the street about the certain protocol. You can see the specific influencers that are talking about the token, and you can see the different pairings that they have. Like Maker USD, the most volume is going on Coinbase. Now lastly, some other representations of a strong community would be getting into the Telegram, getting into Discord, and seeing what the sentiment is. Is it all about the money? Is it number go down? Or is it like, hey, we should do this, this, and this? Bear or bull market, it's still talking about growth and development. Yes, you're always going to have those ranters who are like, I wish I would have sold, or oh, this is a scam because I bought high, and all kinds of garbage. But if you still have that community engagement that's like, hey, someone brought up a really good point. We should probably put an analytics dashboard of how much outstanding debt there is for a lending protocol. That type of thing. Now, the second trait you're going to need is aligned incentives. What is the common goal of everyone? For example, Bitcoin, this is permissionless money. We all have a common goal in mind, and in order to achieve that goal, we can see our goal so we have an achievable goal. But if there is no common goal, there is no vision, you can't see what your target is, and you can't hit the target. I mean, how in the world do you expect to hit a target if you can't see it? Having a common goal is important for a project or protocol so they can aim for it and shoot for it. Second part of aligned incentives is that if everyone is looking towards the same goal, are they all aligned with it? Are they seeing one goal? Are they seeing that they become this? Or are they seeing they become this? Are they all aligned? Having goals is one thing, but if you have multiple goals, how can you achieve one of those goals if you can't stay focused on 1, 2, or even 3 of them? You need to make sure everyone is sticking towards that goal, trying to achieve those, not just throwing out something and seeing what sticks. This can be with the project teams, if they're just making copies of other projects, like, oh wow, sushi swap over there, let's go and bring a sushi swap over here and call it snow swap. Or let's bring that NFT project over there and put it on this chain. Same junk, different day. There's nothing different about it. Why would I use theirs compared to someone else's if they're the same exact project? If they're just making copies of other projects on other chains in order to gain a bunch of TVL and basically get the liquidity mining incentives from these different chains, that's probably something that's not going to be here 1, 2 years, or even a few months from now. So keep that in mind. So having a product vision that's like, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this because this is much needed in this space. An example of this would be MakerDAO. MakerDAO was like, look, we have ETH, we have Bitcoin, but we need a stable coin. Reason being is that if someone has some Bitcoin and Ethereum and they want to get some stable coins or participate in DeFi or buy something in the real world, they have to sell their position. However, when you're able to put up collateral, get a loan against it, you can still have the best of both worlds, still having Bitcoin and ETH exposure, and you can take those stable coins and use them in DeFi. So that's very important. That was a common goal that everyone in the community that they had and something that they seeked to achieve. Now, a function that's important to keep a part of that is having a runway. If they don't have the funding to keep going, they can't eat and they won't code. If you can't eat, why would you code? They need to have a runway to keep rolling. And you can look at tools like GitHub to see how active these developers are. Are these guys constantly innovating, or are they just comfy and just, oh, we already built it, we're done? You want to look for a project that's constantly innovating. So again, to sum up where we went, you need to have a strong community. Second, you need to have aligned incentives. Just because you have a strong community, if you don't have any goals that are specific goals, you are not going to be able to achieve those goals. Third, you need to have a project vision with a runway. If you have this project vision and you have these goals and achievements that you want to make, are they just copy pasta from someone else, or are they actually looking to achieve something? And do they have the runway to fulfill that? Having a project that has these features are ones that have stood the test of time and been able to build in a bear, build in a bull, and keep rolling around. Let's go and hit you guys with that wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 14, verses 28. A large population is a king's glory, but without subjects, a prince is ruined. Thanks for watching this KuCoin DigiDive. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that the like, subscribe, hit that bell button. And if you guys have any comments about what you guys think about these 3 traits, or if you think I should have added more, leave a comment in the description below. Share the alpha, man. And if you would like to get started trading with KuCoin, there's a link in the description below that will give you 20% off trading fees. You can also see some of our previous videos here, here, and like there. See ya.